Okay, I'm back from Italy, but I just wanted to record a really quick intro for this podcast. It started out in Lake Como, but then it ended in Milan. So if you follow my stories, if you follow me on Instagram, know that I just came back from an epic trip from Italy because I was asked to be a speaker at the biotech conference, and I got to take some of my favorite team members with me. I mean, what can I say? They're my leaders, they're my core group. And we chatted all about how to manage a remote team. For those of you who don't know, I have a team of about 30 plus women, and there's no office. There's no like one central place where we all like go in and hang out and like work all day together. Everybody is remote. And then so I interviewed some of my team members, like my COO, my CMO, which stands for Chief Marketing Officer. And you'll see in the vlog or in the podcast, we just came up with her title, like in the car. I'm going to Lake Como because part of the reason is because Val just does so many things. I'm digressing. She does so many things that it's so hard to like give her a specific title, but that title fits her perfectly. And I also interviewed my VP of Sales about how to manage a sales team remotely and keep people performing. I hope you guys think that this is valuable. I thought it was really valuable. I just feel so blessed getting to travel the world with my best friends, with my team, with this amazing group of women. And I think you guys are going to be able to feel the love and the genuine friendship through this video, this podcast. So here it is. We are on our way to Lake Como for another car podcast of the CEO Glow Show. Okay, so we're going to start with Laura. So Laura, tell us your position.
Hey guys, I'm Laura. I'm the COO of Pretty Rich Bosses.
And she handles operations. For people who might not know what that means, what does that even mean?
It's director of
Are
operations.
you like the operator?
Yes.
Basically, you're operating
Literally,
things.
that's what I do.
Okay. Danielle.
My name's Danielle Mungino. I am the VP of Sales for Pretty Rich Bosses, or business development or lead business strategist. So my job is to make sure that the company keeps generating some cash flow. So I'm not a one-man team, so we need to make sure that we have a pretty good sales team. And so my job is to lead and serve our team members in a way where we can all grow together in sales.
Let's go. If you guys don't have like a sales team or like somebody that's like responsible specifically for sales in your business, it doesn't matter what you do. I firmly believe that you need at least one person that is selling all day. If you don't have at least one person selling all day, how are you going to sell? As myself as a CEO and as a visionary and as the brand face, it's really hard to do just sales all day. If you are not producing sales, my question for you is how many hours a day are you spending actually selling? So we have the VP of Sales here. And so that's why her job is so important.
And you know what, though? It really is important for the business owner to know how to sell, is because Sheila said, okay, Danielle, this is how I sell. So you also have to direct them on how to sell and teach them. Mm-hmm. And then your head of sales will just make it their own and just streamline everything so that it's tight and efficient and effective, because you'll know if it's effective if the company is making money. Everything works cohesively because we have systems in place, and there are individuals who are in charge of each department. Laura is in charge of all departments, so I don't want to do Laura's job. That's you got to get a COO, a really good one. And if you have a right-hand person, that is your COO.
How this works is, as the CEO, the only person I talk to, if I'm going to talk to anybody any day to just see how the business is running and to direct my vision, it's Laura, right? Because she's operating the company. And then we also have Valeria. Okay.
Hello. I am, what should I say?
My name is Valeria.
You have to guide me, thank you.
Yes, no problem.
Content director, and tech something or
Sure.
nothing?
Mm-hmm. Tech director.
Tech
director.
systems.
Yeah.
technical system.
Media. You're the media manager.
Media manager.
Marketing and
tech marketing, media manager. Yeah, it's all of it.
Marketing media manager.
Should we just give her an official title?
Yeah.
today? Wait, time out.
She is CMO.
Yeah.
She
is
is marketing
CMO.
operations.
Come on.
Okay.
Oh, that's why she took us to Lake Como.
Yeah.
We get it.
This is it.
We thought Argentina.
Como CMO.
Finally knighted her with an actual title because Val literally does anything and everything, and we've never had an official title for her. CMO. And guess who's driving us? This is the core group in this car. That's why Pablo can't crash this car, because the whole company will burn down. Like everyone in this car has job security. Major job security. You'll have our CFO after you.
Yeah.
Super irreplaceable. For those of you who don't know, Belevate Pretty Rich Bosses has a remote team of about 30 contractors as well as employees. And so I think a lot of people have a lot of fear around that, because managing a remote team all over the world can be really challenging. So Laura, since as the director of operations, right? Laura, how do you make sure that we have smooth communications all across the globe and they can feel your wrath, even digitally?
I think if I wasn't a little bit impatient, I wouldn't be able to do a good job. Because if I was too flex about stuff.
Oh my gosh, she's gotten more impatient over the years, and I'm so proud of you. Because now
She loves it. Like that's what she likes.
I tell Laura, I was like, stop watching romantic comedies. I need you to watch dark thrillers because I need you to stay hard and work out. You must. Okay, that's the thing though.
Okay. Oh, look at the
Wow,
view.
look at that. Oh, guys.
So nice.
Oh, this is so romantic. We got distracted.
We ended up in Milan now.
And we're in Milan now. But Lake Como was beautiful. Okay. Laura's the COO. What do you think is the biggest mistake that a lot of people make when managing remote teams?
Not having enough meetings.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I think people don't have that in general. Even
They don't have that in general. Honestly, the biggest mistake is that I think we hire people thinking that they know the information or they know exactly what to do. But really, the biggest mistake is they don't know what to do. And so being a good leader and having really smooth operations is being able to break that down and give people knowledge, pour into them, right? We always pour into training people at the beginning.
Yeah.
So that, right. And it's the toughest part. And I think that's when people give up and they're like, oh, this person's failing at their job. Well, guess what? They're probably not failing at their job. They just probably don't know. You're a bad teacher. They don't know the expectations. They don't know KPIs. Like, what are those key measurements that you are measuring, their performance based on?
Yeah.
And so that is the biggest mistake. Again, not meeting enough with them, not having daily meetings with your team. Like if you have a receptionist and you have no idea of a recap of what she did the day before, like what she plans to do in the morning, and all those little details add up. And then that's when
you're just burning your money.
You're just burning your money. So having systems in place where you can really check in with your people, have time to train them, especially at the beginning, like we mentioned, is key. And so I think lacking of structure just brings chaos.
I think most people want to do well at their job. I think that's the thing. I think bad managers just say, oh, I just work with a lot of dumb people. Yeah, I just think most people want to do well. They want to do well at their job. I think most people want to work.
Yeah.
And if you don't give them anything to do, they're probably not going to have longevity there because they're not going to have drive. They're not going to have meaning. People get bored. People need purpose. Yeah. And so I think just in general, as a boss, as a leader, be a better teacher. And KPIs are good for people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
people want to perform. People want to hit, a certain goal. So I think, like Sheila mentions, they're important because if you don't have them, it's like not having a north. So
it's not having a north, and it's frankly, going to be a boring job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people like pressure.
Yeah.
And now, on to our newly knighted Chief Marketing Officer.
Well, hello
Mrs.
there.
Como.
That's me.
Okay, so what advice do you have for keeping a consistent brand message? And what processes do you have for approving content and marketing materials
with a remote team?
So one of the things that I think is very important is to have brand guidelines, like what fonts do you use, what colors do you use, what message you want to give, not only the colors or how it looks, but how do you want to appear to the person?
Yeah.
What message do you want to make sure it comes across? And the way that we do approvals.
Yeah, because we have team members like from the Philippines and also from Argentina and then Los Angeles. And I don't know, wherever everyone else is from. Yeah. So what do you do?
There is a meeting point where we go over like, okay, what needs to happen. And then we have a second meeting where we go over what the style, what the vision is for whatever, if it's a product, if it's content, if it's podcast. And then we send the documents in. We have systems that we have for pre-approval. So the post gets reviewed and then that notifies if the post is approved or if it needs to be revised by any of the editors. And then once it gets the final approval, then it goes to the content team to actually post.
How many meetings would you suggest for a content team to have per week to maintain, communication and consistency?
Oh, we have a minimum of 3. If we
I
don't
would
have
say
another
content
project,
team minimum of 3.
Yeah.
Sales is daily, sometimes twice a day. I think content, minimum of 3.
Yeah. Many times we have more than that, but it depends on the project load, and also they need that creative moment, like to give you something to see and review.
I see. Oh, that makes sense. So you meet, you assign, give them time, meet again, edit, turn it back in. Yeah, it's about 3. I agree.
Sometimes communication does goes on in the chat. Like if there's any doubts, we don't have like a 1-hour meeting over the content, but when we meet, usually they're long meetings because we revise, we go over the content, we make sure that it comes out at the time that it's supposed to come out,
right?
And that all the deliverables are ready to go. But
So even like, we had to do a VSL, had a deadline. So you met with the team like several times this weekend, even when you weren't supposed to. It wasn't normally scheduled just because it was 1 a.m. Haven't even seen it yet. And that's I think that's something too for CEOs is like, you need to learn to let go, and hire people you trust, and you need to allow, I think you need to give people permission to make mistakes, right? And just honestly, I think just go with the flow because nothing is permanent. I think that's what I think a lot of like bosses get really uptight and like get really upset, but everything is deletable and editable and it's okay.
And it does take a little while for the editor to get your voice, to get to know you, like
again,
again,
it's not just, maybe you just have to have patience. And again, I think perhaps like they want to please. It's not like they don't. They want to please. They want to get it right. So I think just being more clear about the direction instead of like, make it pop. Right? Don't say make it pop.
Organize it a little bit better.
I know. When Laura's giving feedback to the content team sometimes, I told her, I was like, tell them specifically which slide you want there at that moment with exactly the image, like sketch it out. Don't say make it pop.
That's what happened at 1 a.m. last night.
just make it pop. So I think that's just for editors in general. I've worked with a lot of editors. Like, I think that's like a pet peeve because they want to please you. They want to do a good job. They want to keep working. But I think just being like uber specific about your edits.
And many times they want to do more. They want to do like more.
Actually, it's more. Sometimes you have to reel it in. Right? And that's why we have our brand guidelines so that it doesn't look like, oh, this is McDonald's meets Starbucks and Target. It's just like, awesome. Thank you, Val.
Thank you.
Managing a remote sales team. What common obstacles do you think people have when it comes to managing people remotely Like training people, I suppose, might be an issue. How do you train people remotely? So we have VP of Sales over here, Danielle Mangino. So walk us through how you nurture leads and also the team, right? Because you got to do both, and also train the team and, keep the team cohesive virtually. Like, how do you do that?
Using technology like Zoom and the other platforms to stay communicated with your team, and also implementing team meetings. So team meetings, I believe, creates the cohesiveness and also just ignites the culture. Basically, the vibe, what we're about, and creates more alignment because there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
So communication is big, making sure that people understand what they need to do. But also when it comes to training and developing your team members, that also needs to be not just once every quarter or once a year. For example, if you want to increase sales, you need to focus on sales training, sales development, and making sure that your team knows how to execute. Because for most of the businesses that we've met at this conference, you come to a point where you're doing a lot of services and you're good at what you do. If you've been doing it for a long time, you want to know how to make more money without having to spend more time.
Yeah.
So it's more of, for us, identifying, like as a team, what are the problems our clients have, and knowing that, can we help them? Is it a good fit? Both ways. Yeah, I think it's more of being able to connect not only with your team, but with your leads as well.
Yeah.
That also shows professionalism. There's a level of professionalism in terms of, like, if you are wanting to close trainings that are a couple $1,000s, people don't want to see ads. They want to see you. They want to hear you. They want to get to know who you are. So I think it's really important that not only are you using platforms like Zoom or video meetings, knowing how to have your meetings, whether it's with your team or with your potential students or clients, of exactly the structure of it.
Yeah. I think too, in terms of like nurturing the team, is just showing care the way you would show care for like a long distance like boyfriend, right? Or a long distance friend. It's like, I think it's the same thing as in person. Like, tell them you're thinking about them, know what they're going through, know when their birthday is, and just showing care and pouring into people. And I think a lot of the times when it comes to team members, especially virtually, you have to act like you care even before you actually do. And then acting like you care will make you care, because sometimes that doesn't come first. And I think like pouring into people, like, treating them like they're going to be there for a very long time, treating people like they're valued. Even on the first day, asking them how they're doing. Hey, how's that first day going? Okay, you're doing great. And just like having patience with people and care with people. That's how you handle a remote team, because a lot of people don't even get that kind of love from their friends that live in the same town. And so that's what I'm hoping the experience is of anybody who works at our company, that they feel that genuine love from us. So,
100%. And nurturing is like, it has to be genuine. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it has.
It's going to come from your heart.
I think for some people, though, that doesn't come naturally.
No, it doesn't.
And so my advice to that is act like you care, and you'll see.
Yeah.
You'll see your body, your feelings will catch up. So.
Yeah. And you'll know who is like your people.
Yeah, I think people too, like they're afraid to hire because they're afraid people are going to leave. Right? And it's like, but that's also like, why are you going to be upset about helping somebody out in a certain chapter of their lives? Like, why are you going to be upset about that? You know what I mean? And it's different though when people leave in a really like ugly way, but that's like 3 out of 10. Are you just going to like not hire, not open your heart for like the 7? You know what I mean? I'm genuine friends with my team members, and I just can't do it any other way. So,
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Danielle.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, this has been a really wonderful time in Italy. I feel so blessed to be here. Really, really, really do. Until next time on the CEO Glow Show. Love you guys.